Hello viewers, you're welcome to today's episode on the Youth Arena. Last week we started a very exciting subject, how to have faith in people. We're going to be continuing with that today. Last week we laid solid foundations on faith in people, what it entails, the state of most persons as it concerns how much they believe in themselves and how much they don't believe in themselves. So today we're going to be picking up from that, trusting that you'll be very much blessed once again. Faith in people and how to do that. That's what we're going to be looking at today. Now, first of all, it's important to understand that having faith in people requires more than just words. If you're talking about believing in people, you have to go beyond just saying it to doing it. If the people you are believing in do not feel the vibes of your belief in them and your faith in them, is as good as you are not doing anything. And most times people actually credit you with whether you are doing well or not doing well based on how what you're doing for them makes them feel. And secondly, the products, the results it gets them to produce. So very, very important you understand how to have faith in people. There's a practical step and a practical guide to this thing. So we're not just telling you things vaguely that you are to do. We're going to be guiding you through very practical steps and trust that as you apply them, you're going to see the desired results. So faith on a general scale is more than thinking that something is true. Faith on a general scale is more than thinking that something is true. When we're talking about faith, it is thinking something is true to the extent that you act on it. So I believe that education works. And because I believe that education works, I not only go to school to get educated, I also do all I can within my powers to ensure that the people around me get education. Why? Because I believe that there is power in education. So it's not just about believing something, it's about believing something to the extent that you act on it. So you believe in somebody, it's not just enough to believe in the person's success, in the person's ability to become the best that God has designed the person to become. You act on that belief by helping the person in any possible way you can to become the best that God has designed him to become. Okay, so becoming a believer in people, and even when you become a believer in people, rather, the most inexperienced persons can become the best of the best persons you can ever see when you believe in them. So when you believe in people, even the most inexperienced persons can become the best there is on earth. Now, very quickly, how do we become believers in people? How do we get to have faith in people? What and what should we do? What and what should we know and apply in order to see to it that we don't just talk about believing in people, we act it out? Number one, you must learn to believe in people before they succeed. Learn to believe in people before they succeed. Everybody loves a winner. Nobody loves to be on the side of a loser. And of course, it's very, very easy to believe in somebody who is winning already. If you're a football fan and perhaps your club wins a particular match, it's easier to believe in them for the next match than if they lost a previous match and they have another match to play. So everybody finds it very easy to believe in somebody who is winning already. Where the work lies for you as a leader is believing in that person who at this point in time is not showing any prospects of succeeding or is not showing any prospects of winning a particular stuff or becoming better at what he's doing. That's where the work lies for us as believers. And most people who eventually end up becoming successful have this high level of regard and value for people who believed in them when they were nothing, when they themselves didn't even believe in themselves. A typical example of that. Most of the people I hold in high esteem from my childhood, from the point where I started discovering purpose, discovering my inclinations and passions and all of that, are people who believed in me even before I knew I could do those things. I had a particular priest back then in the diocese I grew up, who, of course, if you're in the ministerial circle from where I came out from, when you have a 3 days program as a man of God, ministers might identify with what I'm saying. The first day is very important because you are coming to lay the foundation for the program. Okay. Then the second day, just there, build on what you did the previous day. And then the last day is seen as the last day of the program, the climax of the program. Everybody is expectant. People who have not been coming from the first day tend to come on the last day. And also, this man of God who brought us up back there in the diocese I grew up would always carry us along, minister the first day, minister the second day, and then the third day where everybody's expectation is high. And he himself would hype the whole program. The third day is going to be powerful. God is going to touch you. Be expectant and all. And then he would ask us, personally, me, as little as I was, to get ready to minister in that program. Now, I was like, come on, this man, does he want to disgrace me before the presence of the whole congregation? A program with very massive congregation and all of that. He had done the first, ministered the second day, and the expectations were high. People were expecting all manner of miracles and all of that. And he would be like, you are the one to minister. I was like, hey. And he wouldn't even budge. Whether you are crying or you are laughing, he has told you. So the best thing for you is to go and start preparing. And guess what? By the time he's done encouraging you, giving you that platform, you go there, you minister, and you do fine. Even if you don't do spectacularly fine, you do great for somebody at your level and all of that. He encourages you, and something happens. Something is unlocked from your inside, and all of a sudden you discover that you are functioning in an ability that has always been there within you. It was just unlocked by somebody believing in you, giving you a platform that before then you didn't have access to. And by virtue of accessing that platform, what you have inside of you was unlocked. That's what believing in people can do for you. So it's easy to believe in people when they are winning. Everybody loves a winner. Everybody loves to believe in a winner. The work is believing in people even when they are unbelievable. Believing in people even when they are unbelievable. Now, I wrote down here, I said, there are no hopeless situations. There are only men and women who have grown hopeless about them. In other words, there is no impossibility anywhere, whether it has to do with situations or it has to do with people. There is nobody who is so hopeless that you can't believe in them. Sometimes when you check the history of people who blazed trails, some of them have very terrible history of drug addictions and all manner of lives that people who looked at them at that level, at that point, would give up on them. We've heard stories of people who came last, or if there's anything further than last in class, they were the ones in that position. But as time went on, they found people who believed in them enough to help them through, guide them through life, and the world celebrates them, even though as at that point where they were very, very down, nobody believed in them. That's the power of believing in people even when they are unbelievable. Every person has seeds of greatness within, even though they may currently be dormant. But when you believe in people, what you do is that you water the seeds of that greatness in them, and it's just a matter of time they will bloom. It's just a matter of time. Everybody has a seed of greatness. I've come to understand that when you believe in people, when you see people as rough as they are, it's easy to write them off. But take a leap of faith, believe in them. Believe in them. See beyond their present circumstances, see beyond who they are right now to who they can be, and believe in them, not because of where they are right now, but where they can be tomorrow. That's a major drive in believing in people. As a leader in your organization, as a leader in any capacity you find yourself, learn to believe in people. Learn to believe in them even before they believe in themselves. Learn to believe in them before they become winners. Learn to believe in themselves, learn to believe in people rather, when no one else believes in them. Okay? Now, every time you put your faith in people, you are giving life. You are giving, it's more like you are supplying water, supplying nutrients, supplying every necessary thing needed, excuse me, every necessary thing needed for, whoever you are believing in to grow. That's what happens when you put faith in people. Now, I'm taking time to explain this because sometimes when we do these things on the surface, it seems like nothing is happening. Something is actually happening. It might not seem like it in the physical, but inside the person you are believing in, something is happening. And another thing you will observe is that the person naturally gravitates towards you, because when they are with you, you help them become the best of themselves. You help them become the best of themselves. You help them unlock that part of them that they themselves believe that it's not even possible to, experience this dimension of themselves and all of that. So when they are around you with the positive words that flow from you and the actions that follow, they see themselves gaining possibilities, seeing possibilities in becoming who inherently and deep down within themselves they desire to become, the successful person that God has created them to be. Now, secondly, what we just finished talking about on the subject of how to have faith in people is that you must learn to believe in people before they succeed. Very, very vital. Learn to believe in people before they succeed. Learn to believe in people before they succeed. Secondly, how do we get to have faith in people? You must emphasize their strengths. That's one thing you must learn as a believer. Learn to emphasize the strengths of the people God has brought under your leadership. God has not brought them under your leadership to make you an authority in pointing out their weaknesses. There is more to life than that. I feel is being either immature or being unnecessarily petty when all you can call out, in someone is their faults, their deficiencies. It's not supposed to be. Many people mistakenly think that to be influential in other people's lives, they have to be an authority in pointing out other people's deficiencies. Not so. The reverse is the case. If you want to be influential in people's lives, to influence people positively, to become an influential leader, you must learn to focus on people's strengths and not their weaknesses. Learn to focus on their strengths and not their weaknesses. Okay? The best way to show people your faith in them and the best people to show people that you have faith in them and to motivate them is to focus your attention on their strengths. By emphasizing people's strengths, you are helping them believe that they possess, what they need to succeed. When you believe in their strengths, when you emphasize their strengths, you are helping them believe that they have what they need to succeed. They have what they need. And life is predictable. When you emphasize people's strengths, they tend to do more in the area you've emphasized. When you appreciate people in an organization, whatever you encourage grows. Just check it out. If you want your staff members to be resuming early to work, just start encouraging and start promoting people who come early to work, giving them awards and all of that. What you are doing is that you are promoting that attitude, and before you know it, the whole environment, the whole organizational atmosphere catches whatever it is you are promoting and they run with it. In the same way, when you condone laxity and you condone negativities in your workspace, in your organization, among the persons you are leading, that's what you are promoting, because everybody picks it up as a culture, and before you know it, it becomes a norm. So when you emphasize the strengths of the people you are leading, you are showing them, that you are encouraging them to do better at what you are pointing out. Okay, so learn to praise them for what they do well. Learn to praise them for what they do well. There's this philosophy people have that when you praise people too much for what they do well, it will get into their heads, and they will start misbehaving and all of that. As true as that statement might be for some, it's not a general truthful statement. When you praise people for what they do well, the tendency is that they will keep doing that thing well and even getting other things right is higher than their chances of misbehaving. It's only somebody who is, would I say, immature, that you would praise for what he's doing well, and the person, instead of improving in that aspect, will start depreciating in that aspect. Something is wrong with the person, and the person needs to be taught better. Okay, so learn to praise them. In emphasizing their strengths, praise them for what they have done well. Praise them for what they have done well. I repeat, praise them for what they have done well. And in praising them, it's not just about something between you and him or between you and them. Praise them both in the private and in the public. Praise them in the midst of their friends. Praise them in the midst of other employers, other workers, other persons that they are in the same environment with. I wrote it here. I said, praise them for what they do well, both privately and publicly, in the presence of their family and in the presence of their friends. Tell them how much you appreciate their positive qualities and their skills. You don't just keep, taking their skills for granted. Sometimes somebody does something exceptionally well that you yourself know you cannot do. The best thing, the right thing to do is to appreciate them. It doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't take anything away from you. It rather adds to your accolades. It adds to your accolades. So it's something we must have at the back of our mind. Okay? Now, one more thing before we go on a very short break. Now, learn to list their past successes. Sometimes in believing in people, in learning to have faith in people, you have to remind them that you can do this thing because you were able to do this, and do that. Everyone has an invisible sign hanging from their neck saying, make me feel important. It's not visible, it's invisible, but everybody wants to be made to feel important. And one of the best ways to do this and motivate people into success is to help them remember their past successes. Help them remember their past successes. We'll pick up from here when we come back from a very short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We trust you've been enjoying the program so far. We've been talking about how to have faith in people. And so far, we've said a couple of things. Number one, being that it's important you learn to believe in people before they start succeeding. Then secondly, we talked about the need to emphasize their strengths above their weaknesses. Then thirdly, we talked about the importance of helping them see their past successes. Helping them see their past successes. This is your job as a leader. This is what you are supposed to be doing as a leader, helping them bring to their remembrance the fact that they were able to succeed in the little things and they are able to succeed in even greater things. Okay, so still continue from where we stopped. Not everyone has the ability to recognize past successes and draw confidence from them. Some people need help seeing it, and that's where your job as a leader comes in, where you see them. Even some of the things that do not seem like successes, they are actually successes. The fact that you were born, the fact that you were able to finish primary school, finish secondary school, and get a few achievements here and there. You were able to do a job and get paid for it. Little things that suggest you are a success at this level, and that's a proof that you can succeed at other things. Your job as a leader is to help bring it to their consciousness that they've been succeeding and they have ability to succeed. It's one way to show people that you believe in them. It also shows them that you are actually observant, that you observe their successes. You observe them. It makes them feel an air of love, an air of significance. They feel they are not lost, in the midst and in the crowd of other persons around who are doing much better than they are doing already. Okay, so we should do that as leaders. What else can we do, or what else can we know as leaders to help our ability to have faith in people? I wrote it here. I say you must learn to instill confidence in them when they fail. The people around you, the people God has brought across your path, learn to instill confidence in them, especially when they fail. Most people need confidence the more when they fail, because when they fail, that's when they feel like they are bad, they can't do anything, they can't achieve anything in their lives, and all of that. That's not true. Your job as a leader at that point is to help them realize that failure is not falling to the ground. Failure is falling to the ground and refusing to stand up. So nobody has actually failed because the person didn't get something right. The person fails when the person starts thinking that he can never ever get that thing right. That's ultimate failure. And even that thought can be changed. God has strategically placed us as leaders to help change people's mindsets. And in changing people's mindset, we are able to change their lives. If you want to change anybody, you don't change the person by trying to change a particular act the person is in. Most times it doesn't work. If you want to change a person's lifestyle, change how the person thinks and reasons towards that particular lifestyle. And if that change is successful, the person's lifestyle is successfully changed. Okay, so we must help them as leaders. We must help our followers as leaders to instill in them confidence, especially when they fail. Now, we can do one of two things whenever we fail. We can either give in or we go on. We can either give in or we go on. Why some people are resilient and willing to keep trying in order to succeed when even when there's no immediate progress, others aren't that determined. So to give them a push and inspire them, you need to keep showing your confidence in them when they are making mistakes or when they are getting things wrongly done. Confidence in them. Show them that you believe in them, especially when they fail. Positive words. It doesn't mean you condone their failures, but there's a difference between calling out somebody not doing something well and somebody not being a human being. You know, I'm using it in the African language now. They say you are not a human being. You know, don't you have sense? You know, you are shifting away from the course on ground to be corrected to the individual. Right now, if that's how you attack the person, you seem to have an issue with the individual and not what he's not getting right. And this distinction must be made. Human beings made in the image of God deserve all the respect they can. Treat them with utmost respect. And then let there be a difference between, you know, you're correcting their job or correcting what they are not doing right and the individual as a whole. The individual as a whole. So we must be able to strike that balance. We must be able to, you know, build confidence in them when they fail and let them know that there is nothing wrong with them because they are God's creation. But what they are to do or what they are doing wrong can be improved upon. It can become better, and they have a duty not to ever think defeat, not to ever accept failure as, you know, their package in regards to whatever it is they are pursuing to become successful at. Okay. Now, one of the ways to do that is to share with them about your past troubles, because most people think that successful people have always been successful. So you as a leader, when you come when you see yourself in a situation where somebody, you know, is having a defeating thoughts and all of that, thinking he can't get anything right and all, you as a leader, share some of your experiences with the person. Share some of your past troubles. You don't always need to appear like a saint. We've been through stuffs. We are products of what we've been through, the disappointments, the troubles, and all of that. Share some of those things with the person. It can be encouraging. What it does for the person is that it helps the person see you as a human being who have passed through similar troubles or even worse, and yet you didn't allow it to stop you. So share your challenges with the person, and the person already obviously sees you as a leader, somebody who is successful and all of that. And you're sharing those challenges with the person and how you overcame shows the person that, you know, if this person did it, I can also do it. Okay? If this person could pass through these fires and arrive at wherever he or she is, I shouldn't allow whatever I'm passing through currently to keep me down on the ground. I have to move forward. I have to pick up myself, and I have to, you know, let whatever challenges I'm currently facing be a stepping stone to a higher glory and not something that will bury me permanently. Very important. It's your duty as a leader to call out such things to the person. Now, you must also show them that success is a journey, a process, and not a destination. Most people think that success is a place where you finally arrive. Even people who we see as successful are constantly working to become better than where they are right now. So success is continuous. Success is a journey. It's a process. You can become better. You can improve upon whatever it is you are currently doing, no matter how good you think you are doing it. No matter how good. There is somebody doing it better than you, and you can do better than you are currently doing. Even the person's doing it better than you, if they understand the concept that success is a journey and not a destination, not a state and all of that, they also are working towards becoming better. That's why we have human beings developing mind-blowing stuffs in our world today. When you think you've seen it all of a sudden somebody will just come up with one wonderful concept that seems to just be mind-blowing, and, you know, life keeps going. Life keeps going. You know, that's why we encourage people to keep moving with the trend, especially technology. With the way technology is moving in our generation, you keep moving. If not, if you keep relying on doing things manually and all of that, technology, you will be there. Technology will come and take your job. Why? Because people are constantly thinking of how to make things better, how to make life better, and how to simplify processes for, you know, the ease of human beings here on earth. Okay? So instill confidence in them when they fail. When they realize that you have failed and still manage to succeed, they will realize that it's okay to fall down, but not okay to stay down. And then finally, encourage them in their failures with all you've got, including your own stories. Encourage them. Encourage them. If you have what to give them in order to help them move from the failure point where they are to become successful, give it to them. If you have the connections, you have the contacts, you have the counsels, the advice, the resources to connect them to, the people you can, you know, link them up with to help them become better, do it. You are making an investment, and people never ever forget people who helped, you know, push them from where they are to the next level. It's called impact. We rarely forget people who impacted our lives. We rarely forget it. That's why as leaders, you must be, out to make impact in the life of people who are around you, because they become better because of you and you become better because of them. All right. Now, what else should we know in our journey to learning how to have faith in people? You must understand that it's important you help them experience some wins together. It's not enough to learn from failures. It's not enough to know that failure is not the end of the world and all of that. It's also important to understand that success is a major boost to motivating people become the best they can be. So help them to get wins. Help them to achieve things. And I'll tell you how to do that. When you study a person as a leader, which as a leader you should have that quality, you should know what somebody can do. Give them such responsibilities within their capacity at that point, and then guide them to achieve it. Guide them, help them with whatever you can, and help them achieve that particular assignment and responsibility you've delegated to them. There is something winning does to us as individuals. It creates a mindset of I can. That was what happened to David when he was to face Saul in the Bible. One of the points that his confidence came from was that I have fought with the bear, I have fought with the lion, I can handle this. So his past successes came into being, came into existence, and it helped him to build confidence both in God and in what God has helped him achieve in order to defeat Goliath that was before him. Okay, so it's not enough knowing that failure is a part of moving forward in life. To really become motivated to succeed, people need to believe they can win. They need to believe they can win. And I'm going to read this to you. I said, to help people believe they can achieve victory, put them in a position to experience small successes. Encourage them to perform tasks or take on responsibilities they can handle, and do well to give them the assistance they need to succeed. Small opportunities are often the beginnings of great victories. Small opportunities are often the beginnings of great victories. And finally, as we round up, help them visualize their future successes. There is something hope does to us. When you are seeing something ahead of you, you are motivated to strive as much as you can to get there. As a leader, learn to paint success pictures for your followers. I'm not talking about your flattering them or telling them what does not exist. No, in the eyes of vision, in the spirit of vision, paint a success picture for them in their line of responsibilities. It's actually possible they can become who they are striving to become, or become the best in the line that they are currently towing. You as a leader, learn to paint the picture for them. As a leader, you have the goal of helping others see beyond today and their current circumstances, and you have that responsibility to help them see beyond their current circumstances, their current state, and all of that, to seeing bigger dreams, bigger visions than what they currently have now. You must learn to help paint that picture for them. Now, when you put your faith in people, you help them expand their horizons and motivate them to become better versions of themselves. So dare to have faith in people as a leader. I've shown you how to do that, and these strategies work. I'm going to run through it again, and we're going to bring it to a close. Number 1, believe in them before they succeed. Number 2, emphasize their strengths over their weaknesses. Number 3, list their past successes to them. Sometimes people tend to forget that they've been succeeding before. List their past successes to them. It also means you have to be more observant, in all they do, for you to be able to point out these things. Number 4, instill confidence when they fail. Number 5, experience some wins together with them. And number 6, visualize their future success with them. Putting your faith in others involves taking a chance, but is a risk worth taking. It never disappoints. You could have people who, will disappoint once in a while, but the results in believing in people far outweighs the challenges that come out of believing in people. So as a leader, dare to believe in people today, and you will not regret it. Thank you very much for being with us in this episode. We trust you've learned a lot. Till we come your way next time, I remain your host, KC Eze. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.